We finished picking about
verbena.
a cup of lemon verbena leaves, and now we're rinsing them off.
So depending on where your garden is or where you're harvesting from, it's a good idea to rinse even if you grow organic, because there's a lot of dust in the air. Might be some spider webs or insects, so it's just a good idea just to rinse off any debris. Okay, now we're gonna come over to our kitchen area. All right, so the recipe to make 1 quart is 1 cup leaves, 1 cup sugar, 1/4 cup of lemon juice, and 3 cups of water. So I'm gonna show you a tip on juicing lemons. That's really easy if you don't have a juicer at home. So let me get a knife.
There it is.
All right. Would you like, anybody like to help?
Yeah,
Brian, you want to come over and help? Okay, come on this side. Okay, take a knife. You're going to cut these in half. So see how the stem is right there. We're going to cut it this way.
Like this?
Yep. Okay. Now take a fork. If you stick the fork in the citrus, and then you just squeeze on top of it, and you kind of wiggle the fork around.
Oh, I missed that. See that fork and they wiggle it around.
It actually gets all the juice out. It's a really easy way to juice if you don't have a juicer.
Oh, that's easier than using it.
I know, the presser or whatever. Yeah, the hand press.
Do one more, Dina. I'm gonna put it that side.
You're gonna stick the fork in, just squeeze on top of the fork. You can wiggle the fork around.
And it's okay that the seeds are going in?
Yeah, we're gonna strain it anyway, because we're gonna strain the leaves out. Okay, so let's do that. Do that one more time, Brian.
Or just put the fork.
See that? Juice that.
Wow, those lemons are
They
juicy.
are. I think these are Meyer lemons. These are the best. Alright, so next, let's put these in compost. Let me get a measuring cup.
Okay.
This is a seed. Yeah. Yeah. What's it like?
Alright. So Brian, why don't you put the leaves in this cup and see how much we have of the leaves.
Does he need to press them down, Lindsay, or just put them in?
So this is the finished base. I made this yesterday.
Oh my goodness, what is that now?
This is what we're gonna make the ice cream.
Oh my goodness, it looks...
I just made some in advance. So
Wow.
If you look at the side.
Does it smell lemony?
1 cup, yeah.
Okay, so it says 1 cup. Oh, you know what? I have in my truck. I have my mixer thingy. Mixer thing. Mixer thing. The food processor.
It's all just pouring too.
Yeah. Okay, so we have our 1 cup of verbena leaves. Okay, Brian, you're gonna measure 1 cup of sugar. Okay, can you find the 1 cup? See where it is? 1 cup.
Oh, right here.
Yep, all the way to the top. I normally don't use white sugar. I usually use raw. You could probably do like monk fruit or like a sugar alternative.
Look.
A little bit more. Want me to get the flavor?
You can't use honey, can you?
You could use honey, actually. I'm sure you could use honey. Yeah, any sweetener. So, all right. what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a pause for 1 second. I'm going to strain out my my big batch so we can actually start mixing it in the ice cream maker now while we finish I'll just demonstrating the recipe.
So I'll pause the video.
Okay.
Could you make this with strawberries or bananas or?
Yeah. So yeah, the trick is to blend the fruit or leaves or whatever with the sugar, because then it'll kind of break down and
I
like
see.
get really infused.
So if it were strawberries, since they're already wet, and when you blended it, you would.
Yeah,
Well, there's
you
no juice to.
probably
Well,
use
there's no
less
juice.
sugar.
Well, there's no juice. So how would you? What would you use for juice?
I would also use lemon juice.
Oh, okay.
And then maybe honey or sugar. You probably wouldn't, because strawberries are a little more sweet. You probably wouldn't need as much sugar.
Okay.
All right, so I'm just gonna stir until the sugar is dissolved. And then once it's dissolved,
How much water did you add?
3 cups.
Okay.
And you can adjust it. If you like tart, you can add more lemon. If you don't like
Right.
really sweet, take out the sugar.
Right.
So you can definitely adjust it based on your taste. So you would put this in the fridge. I would try to do it for at least like maybe 2 or 3 hours
Okay.
if you're in a rush. Ideally, you'd like to do it overnight.
I'm looking at it.
But for time's sake, I'm just going to add it to what we already have.
Okay.
So again, once it's done in the fridge, you're going to strain it. Make sure you squeeze and press out all the liquid.
Okay, the ice, you say too, or what? It turns ice, you say too, or what?
Yeah, it'll turn to ice cream when it's ready. All right, and then you put it in your ice cream maker, whatever maker you
Wonderful.
have. So now it's just
And now it's just a matter of waiting
game.
Yeah,
for the.
and since it's supposed to be 45 minutes, or
So we'll come back as we get closer to ice cream.
Yes.
it's supposed to be.
Okay. So what
This
we.
is 1 gallon.
So once
I made
we.
a batch last night, so we can have some while I'm showing the demonstration.
Okay.
But once you put all the ingredients together, I put the sugar in the leaves in a food processor, grind it up. I mix in the sugar, dissolve it, put everything together, and then I stick this in the fridge overnight.
Okay.
So then the leaves and everything can infuse. So this is cold, but then you do want to strain it.
Okay.
So I'm going to. You want to hold this right here, Brian? Just hold that right there.
Oh, it just don't.
Did it fall in?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, I can get it. All right.
I don't know what.
Okay. I use a spatula. I'll take it. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe mix it a little bit.
Okay. I might strain it one more time.
Yeah.
But just to get all that juice out, you can press it down, or if you have a cheesecloth or something, you can squeeze it in your cheesecloth.
And worst case scenario, if you have a little bits and pieces, it's like having pieces of ice cream, right? I mean, pieces of
Mint
chunks
or
of
something.
in
Yeah.
your
Yeah. So
in your ice cream.
not the end of the world,
Right.
but I don't know if you want to eat some leaves in your ice cream. Okay. All right, so here's the finished liquid. This is the ice cream base. So I'm going to turn on our fancy ice cream maker.
Did they just put that?
Yeah, I know, we're gonna blend it together in a second. Okay.
This is a fancy one.
I know. We borrowed this from a ice cream maker. All right, so I'm just gonna pour this in, and this machine actually cools as you make it.
So you
as
don't
it
have to
turns.
have ice.
No, this is a
Wow.
fancy one.
Ooh.
I know. I want to buy
know.
one of these now.
So I'm using the smallest measuring cup in the world.
We're gonna be here for a couple hours. How long does it usually take?
This thing?
Yeah.
She said like 15 or 20 minutes.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
So might as well have this going while I'm talking.
Good thinking ahead, boss.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay, there it goes.
Okay.
So hopefully it'll be done faster. Okay.
So we'll go back
the-
to our.
Yeah. Okay, so back to the original recipe. It's easiest if you have some sort of food processor. Okay. All right, so with your sugar and your leaves,
Close up.
okay, Brian, you want to pour this in? Okay. So this is just to really break down the leaves and get all those flavors out of them. It's going to infuse the sugar. Okay. Now I'm going to add the lemon juice to blend it a little bit more.
This smells good. That smells good.
All right, Brian, go ahead and add the lemon juice.
What the seeds or?
Yeah, that's okay, because we're going to strain it anyway.
I can smell that.
It smells good, huh? All right. Okay, so we're going to empty it out into a bowl. Potentially, you could probably do this with like mint or any other, maybe even lavender, like dried lavender, to flavor. And sorbet is so easy because the main ingredient is water.
Oh, okay.
So, all right, so that's all in. Now we're gonna add 3 cups of water. You wanna come get some water, Brian?
I wonder if you could do this with strawberries. I'm going to ask her.